What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we're going over a pretty fun game we had in the Neptune, and I think my last video I had that I made with the Neptune was on the same map. So something about North and the Neptune, and I think it's a good map for the Neptune because there's so many islands, and you can post up here. There's a lot of areas you can post up which you're looking for with these ships. Because if you've ever played high tier or really Royal Navy cruisers at all, you know that you can basically only do damage consistently if you are in your smoke and if you have a smoke cooldown. So with only 4 smokes, there's really only about 4 times you can really do consistent damage without getting blasted off the planet because you're a Royal Navy cruiser and you're made out of toilet paper. And or if you find like islands and stuff to go around. So I think North is actually a pretty solid ship for most cruisers. With any kind of arc, and just having lots of cover is actually really nice. But this is actually a pretty fun one. It's actually really close, and it was some things needed to happen, and it gets to be pretty nail-biting at the end of the game, especially in this ship. So what I'm doing right now is we have a pretty complementary division right here. We're running a Neptune, a cruiser, with a low detection destroyer, and a battleship with radar. So we're trying to figure out what is going on. So as you can see right here, I'm shooting. So that means I know nothing is over here in the open. That means I know nothing was... I was spotted here for a quick second, but I think it was because of the opening over by B. So I'm trying to save potentially a smoke here and figure out what's going on, and then farm this battleship that's gotten way, way, way too close. 12 kilometers. I'm going to pop a smoke here just to be safe, and then start farming this guy and supporting our Yugimo, which has an extremely low detection at that tier. But he does get pretty aggressive right here, which probably isn't the best idea going into all those guys. Although we're pretty sure that there's not much else there, but we're going to farm this battleship that got way, way, way too close, and we're going to wait to see if the Yugimo pokes around that corner, because I basically have all of this area I can cover. I have almost all of this area I can cover. So I'm in a really, really good spot, a really kind of aggressive spot right here to do a ton of damage. And again, I'm probably missing out on a little bit of damage due to just keeping an eye on my destroyer to see if he does end up going gun for gun with that Yugimo. But really trying to punish that guy. Anytime you can get a battleship that just overextends, you have to punish him. You have to punish him. But again, I think they only had like 1 radar ship. They had the Baltimore and they had the New Orleans. So we'll see the New Orleans later in the game. But that Baltimore taking 2 torps, that has to be a kill. So we're going to unload on him. Probably should have switched to him a little bit because you want to get those radars off as fast as possible. And luckily, unluckily for us, luckily for him, he's going to heal a little bit through our other damage. But he'll eventually get taken out here, and we're starting to stack up the damage decently for this early in the game. Down he goes. So down not only a pretty decent cruiser in the Baltimore, but also down one of their 2 radar ships. So it's really, really, really good for us. And right now, we're doing pretty solidly. We know that there's a DD South. I'm going to leave those guys. That's a really good 3 set of ships right there. It's a cruiser, the Hindenburg, which is one of the best tier 10s, if not the best tier 10, on Missouri. So they have a radar over there and a destroyer with the Shimikazes over there. So I figured I didn't need to roll with them. I would push towards more the middle. Since I am consistently getting spotted, that means something's either off to my right or in the B cap, or their C cap, I guess now. I keep calling it B cap because that's what it's been for years. But the C cap right here. So we're trying to figure out where these ships are and how to get those damage in. So again, my detection keeps going in and out, so I'm not sure if he's off to my left or off to my right. And boom, with the radar going up, there he is right there, the Akizuki. But I do have to be careful because there is a GK right there, and if I post up too much broadside, he will absolutely shred me. So that's why priority target's so good. If you guys aren't running it on like your cruisers, especially your fragile cruisers, it's really, really important to run it, because if there's only one ship looking at me, or if there's 2 ships, you know that you can be a little bit more risky on where your angles are, and a little bit more, you know, cautious on, okay, well, I have 3 ships on me, I need to either stop shooting, or if there's 2 and I know there's cover, that means there's only that guy and that guy. So it always surprises me how many people don't, and it's always good to see a Hindenburg torping a Yugimo. It's always like, what? As long as it happens to a red Yugimo. If it happens to Yugimo, it's like, wait, how? But if it happens to a red Yugimo, that's always good. But it always surprises me how many people don't use priority target because of how much information it gives you. It gives you so much info, and I always see some people not use it, and I'm like, I think it's one of the best 1-point skills in this entire game. You get so much information, which is really what this game is. You're trying to get as much information as possible, and use that to get yourself a victory. And I just think priority target's an awesome thing to pick it up. The only ships I don't use it on, of course, I don't use it on CVs, and I don't even think you can get it on. No, you can. But I don't use it on CVs. It's not needed, and I don't really use it on battleships. But there's sometimes I really wish I did have it on my battleship, so I might change it in the future. But right now we're gonna plan on post up. I was trying to put a bunch of damage in on the Zao, but that New Orleans is basically anything with radar is the Royal Navy cruiser Kryptonite. He has 203s, which is pretty. I mean, they'll shred. I will absolutely get shredded by him, and radar. So a mix of 203 AP with radar. That's disaster for any Royal Navy cruiser because we are smoking ships, fragile smoking ships, and we really need to be careful with what is around there. But we're starting to take CCAP. We're starting to lose some ships too. We've lost a DM somehow on this map. We've lost a Shima to, I think, a battleship, so either he charged it or something, I'm not sure. But we're starting to lose some pretty big ships for no reason right now, which kind of stinks, and we're starting to lose that momentum. Although we are about to get this cap, or we stopped that cap, we're about to get the B cap down south, and hopefully get another kill on a destroyer. And luckily, their ships are pretty far away from any productive cap, which is really good. But I'm not in a very good spot. I'm trying to get an idea of where all their DDs are. Right now, there's one that was last spotted on the bottom side of the C-cap right here. And this Hipper is asking to get dunked right now. Charged in a bottom tier cruiser, charged into the middle of the cap with a Zao and 2 battleships in front of him is not going to be a very good situation. But he will ripple fire himself to success. So right now I'm playing very passive. And what I'm going to see if I can do right now, as we get another DD kill right there, but lose the Shima in the process, so that's not a very good trade either. We're gonna go in. We're gonna see if the cap's getting contested. Luckily, it wasn't, so we're gonna kind of make our escape towards the north, and we're trying to get an idea of where this destroyer might be. So he's either rotated over towards D, which is good for us, and we can kind of be a bit more aggressive towards that cap, because I imagine that's where we're gonna have to fight these guys. I have the Hipper, the St. Louis, and I think a battleship or just a DD against all these guys. So I was going to basically charge these guys and pop smoke and do a ton of damage. But then I didn't realize that the guys over here completely rotated away. So that wasn't very good. As you can see, I slammed down my brakes. I need to get this cap. But I figured one thing I could do is just round this corner, kill the Shima, because you can do a ton of damage, because they don't know I'm here. Well, they have a general idea of where I potentially am, but they don't know I'm actually here. But if you've ever played a Royal Navy cruiser, you know that a New Orleans and a Hindenburg on your broadside, and even a Shima right there, is not very good. So I'm going to basically pull it hard left and just unload on this Shima if I can. That's potentially a two salvo for me, so any damage is awesome. He got really lucky on those rolls. And I'm going to throw torps out as I can and get as much angle as possible, because as you can see, I will just get absolutely dunked, because even their 203 AP will destroy me, and but I need to get away. So luckily he's focusing on that. This Kiev is actually laying a decent little smoke, but with the angles I'm at, it won't really do anything. And I'm hoping to potentially get a... My main focus is the Shima right now. Hindenburg, if I can get torps on him. See, as you can see, I'm holding my shot. And down goes the repair. So I think we grabbed the Hindi with 1, which is really good. Yeah, we grabbed him with 1 torpedo. We're starting to lose a ton of ships right now. And 2 big ships. And again, it's the New Orleans, which is a bummer, because he has radar. So I need to keep getting distance on these guys. So I'm going to try to use that Kiev smoke and drop mine more defensively than anything, and see if that New Orleans drops radar. We're going to see what we can kind of do, and hopefully kill that Hindi, because that Hindi will just out DPS us, and hopefully not take a torp right here. But right now, we know we have a Shima off to our left. Those are his torps, though. And the torps spotted kill our Kiev. So, it's not going very well for us right now. I'm 1 radar away from dying, and right there, the Shima is detecting me because he's within range. So we throw up some Hail Mary torps on that Shima, And basically right now I'm in the situation where I just can't. I see that he's flooding or burning. I think he's flooding. So we just gotta get that done, and I'm gonna keep getting distance from these guys. But I can't sit and smoke if there's a shipment there, so that's why I'm moving right now. And we're gonna get some distance and hopefully kill the Hindi. And since no one else can spot him, I didn't get the little bit of damage. And I think this is the best part of the game right here, is we were spotted. So where's the DD and the New Orleans as well. If that New Orleans would have focused me, I probably would have died. But luckily he didn't. And boom, snag the shimma. That was the funniest part. The Neptune, the best DD. So right now we're in a really good spot. Our smoke is going to end up being like a defensive smoke, and so if I just go dark, repair the fire, as long as he doesn't radar me, I think I'm faster than the New Orleans. I think I am. So I'm just going to basically run, kind of head north, keep dumping torps into that smoke, because if they don't have sonar, there's nothing they can really do. So 2 sets of torpedoes on each side. I'm going to keep basically launching those on cooldown. We know the Hindenburg's going to be relatively low. He's going to be able to heal up a decent amount. But that New Orleans, if he takes any kind of damage, we're going to basically... We can probably outdo, as long as he doesn't get my broadside, we can just out-DPS this guy. It was the Hindenburg I was more worried about. But we can't show him any broadside, because if we do, he'll just chew us up with citadels. So we're going to work this guy. There's the Hindi. So even though the New Orleans is way closer, the Hindi has to die. Because if he doesn't die, he'll just kill me. With 7k even, he'll just kill me. So I'm trying to talk to my battleship that's down south. And get a nice little chunk right there, though. About maybe him getting a shot on anything. Because I'm thinking, hey, maybe I will kill the Hindi and then get the trailer in New Orleans. Then maybe they can make something happen down there. But my battleship's pretty far, as you can see. He's over by BCAP right now, kind of tanking all those guys. I need to get that kill on the Hindenburg, because his HE, because the pen is it can pen like such thick armor basically, that he'll just destroy me. So again, there's the heal. Luckily we're all Navy cruisers, so we have that heal, and we're starting to get that distance away that our accuracy, our dispersion is just going to work against us. So we're going to kind of work towards this New Orleans, and again, smoke up defensively and see what happens. Now, I thought this New Orleans would charge me. If I'm that New Orleans, I think I charge this Neptune, but he ends up playing it completely different than what I thought he would. Hindenburg right there. So of course, we got to beat everybody up before they try to kill steal us. So I thought this New Orleans was going to push in straight towards me, and he kind of is. But then the way the rest of this goes, of course, our battleship gets the kill, gets the shot at when he has 800 life. So we snag him with a torp there. So this is what I'm talking about. I thought he was going to keep charging that smoke, so I put torps as if he would have taken that torp and then turned to his left. Right? He saw the torps coming in. They were coming from basically a northern target trajectory. So I thought he would kind of roll this way. So I'm just going to get nose in. I can probably out DPS him. So I thought he would be pushing right into the smoke, which he was originally. And so right here, I'm like kind of confused. I'm like, all right, he should be where my torps are. I figured he'd turn to my left and push the smoke. He's not spotting me on the left side of this. So that's I'm just kind of confused on where this guy is. So I'm trying to talk to those guys if they can get a spot on him. The Iowa's down there, and really we're snagging the torpid, so I'll take that. So I know he is relatively low. We have one more heel left, but still one broadside, which is something I was kind of worried about. So I'm trying to angle as many potential areas as he could. As you can see, I turned a little bit more right there just in case he goes around the island. And I was not expecting him to rotate away that much. Apparently he took more damage than I thought he did. And right here I figured I could get a little bit more aggressive on this guy, because he had only his back turret. So worst case scenario, he does 3 citadels, which is something I can heal through, and I can just out DPS him. And he's shooting HE, so I figured I was relatively safe. But still gonna angle as much as possible, because even if we get a kill and then lose a ship, as you can see, one of our battleships is extremely low. I didn't want to get too... I wanted to get the win. I didn't want to be the hero, and then just die for nothing. So if I can get my aim down, he'll get smashed. We're already 100k too, which is awesome. It isn't an insane damage game, but this is when the Royal Navy cruiser absolutely shreds, broadside, and I was like, all right, he's been shooting at you the whole time. I'm still probably safe. And boom, down he goes. So a fun little game in the Neptune, the new Royal Navy DD. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.